Inside Man is a 2006 thriller/crime film, directed by Spike Lee with screenwriter Russell Gewitz. Actors include Denzel Washington as Detective Keith Fraser, Cliff Owen as Dalton Russell, Jodie Foster as Madeline White, and Christopher Plummer as Arthur Case. As for the film summary, it revolves around a heist happening in a bank located in Wall Street. Detective Keith Fraser and his partner are assigned to handle this case. However, Detective Fraser had a hard time in uncovering the mastermind, Dalton Russell's intentions. Things only gotten more complicated for him when Madeline White, a mysterious power broker, was involved in this case. There may be more to it than just a usual bank robbery, which is up to Detective Fraser to solve. Moving on to the film techniques, I'll be covering narrative structure and other elements such as space, time, goal-oriented plot, and change in knowledge. I'll also talk about the principles of film form, specifically whether it is considered unity or disunity. Let's start with the type of narrative structure. For Inside Man, it will fall under the category of non-linear narrative. Just like many crime-related films, in order to keep us in suspense and anticipation, the filmmaker will not show us the film in chronological order. Instead, they will jump around the timeline just enough to give us hints but not to reveal truth. Inside Man consists of many flash forward, exchanging between its cause and effect, which would be the happening of the heist and the interrogation scene. To further analyze the narrative structure, I will use the patterns of development to segmentize the plot. First, we'll have the exposition. It begins with Dalton's narration on his perfect master plan, which then brings us to the day of the heist. The robbers are set in a bad light as they are seen hostile when handling the hostages, and their goal, as they mention, is to attain money. The police are notified and they quickly arrive to the crime scene, along with Detective Fraser and his partner. After that, we have the setup. As expected, Detective Fraser tries to negotiate and come to terms with the robbers, but soon he started to question the robbers' intentions as if there is actually more to it. As viewers, we would think that we might have wrongly judged the robbers as they start to show some form of compassion. On one hand, we can see Dalton's conversation with the young boy hostage, and it really makes us question if they are really that bad. On the other, we are shown that Arthur, the owner of the bank, has hired Madeline to retrieve something of his from the bank as he is afraid that it will be revealed. This makes us wonder what is the prized possession of his. As the film goes on, Dalton's true intention was revealed during his conversation with Madeline, which led her in making a deduction that he is not a killer. Tired of the wild goose chase, Fraser managed to convince him in letting him into the bank and tried to tackle Dalton to discover his identity. Even though he failed, this angered Dalton and soon they perform an execution on one hostage. Now, we have reached the climax. The execution led the police to take action and storm into the bank. In the meantime, Fraser discovered they were bugged the whole time and tried to stop the police. However, they still went in as planned and only to discover that Dalton and his team had disappeared. They also discovered that they were using toy guns this whole time and the execution was staged. Lastly, we have the denouement. Even though nothing was found during the interrogation and the case was closed, Fraser and his partner continue on with it. Here, they discovered Arthur's dirty little secret and confronted him. When Fraser visited the bank once more, Dalton is shown making his escape without Fraser noticing. The film ends with Fraser realizing there was a diamond left in his pocket. Space. This film takes place mostly within and around the bank. Time. As mentioned before, it is not in chronological order. To help the audience differentiate the time difference, the filmmakers had a consistent filter for when it's showing the interrogation scene, which happened after the heist. Goal-oriented plot. It is obvious Fraser's goal is to capture the robbers, but it is soon also involved in finding out the motives lies beyond Madeline's involvement with the case. As for Dalton, other than to gain money, he was also after Arthur's secret, which shown later on in the film. Change in knowledge. As audience, we would have thought that the robbers are the main villain, but after discovering that they did not murder anyone or steal money other than the diamonds and the secret Arthur holds, they are placed in a better light. As for Arthur, it does change our view on him as he just might be as guilty as the robbers. This brings us to the last point of this film review. Does this film fall under unity or disunity? The answer would be disunity, as there are things that are not explained or revealed, such as did Dalton get arrested since there was a scene which seemed like he was in the middle of an interrogation? Or was it something else? There's also other questions such as how did the police who informed Fraser about being bugged know about it? And what exactly did Fraser decide to do with the diamond? Would he keep it or would he not? This is the end of this film review. Thank you for watching.